Barringer Crater, located in Arizona, is owned by the Barringer Crater Company, which strives to protect and maintain the site as a valuable scientific and cultural resource. Visiting Barringer Crater is a truly awe-inspiring experience that offers a glimpse into the fascinating science and history of our planet and the universe beyond. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for future interesting videos. Unique history. A crater is born. 50,000 years ago, a giant fireball streaked across the North American sky. It struck Earth in what is now northern Arizona, USA, exploding with the force of 2.5 million tons of TNT. The story of the Barringer meteorite crater is a story about the collisions and impacts that have shaped the Earth and other planets in our solar system. But it is also a story about how we know what we know about craters, meteorites, and the planet we live on. The crater is named for Daniel Maury Barringer, a Philadelphia mining engineer who became convinced that the crater was the result of a large meteorite striking the Earth, contradicting the most eminent scientists of his time. A self-taught geologist, Barringer spent several years studying the crater and providing the initial proof of its origin. Though he never found the fortune in meteoritic iron, he was convinced lay beneath the floor of the crater. Barringer's theory of the crater's origin was eventually vindicated and accepted by the scientific community. The meteorite weighed 300,000 tons and traveled at a speed of 26,000 miles per hour, 12 kilometers per second. When it struck the Earth in what is now northern Arizona, it exploded with the force of 2.5 million tons of TNT, or about 150 times the force of the atomic bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. Most of the meteorite was melted by the force of the impact and spread across the landscape in a very fine, nearly atomized mist of molten metal. Millions of tons of limestone and sandstone were blasted out of the crater, covering the ground for a mile in every direction with a blanket of shattered, pulverized, and partially melted rock mixed with fragments of meteoritic iron. The crater. When the dust settled, what remained was a crater 3/4 of a mile, about 1 kilometer wide and 750 feet deep. The impact occurred during the last ice age, a time when the Arizona landscape was cooler and wetter than it is today. The plain around it was covered with a forest where mammoths, mastodons, and giant ground sloths grazed. The force of the impact would have leveled the forest for miles around, hurling the mammoths across the plain and killing or severely injuring any animals unfortunate enough to be nearby. Over time, the landscape recovered. A lake formed in the bottom of the crater, and sediments accumulated until the bowl was only 550 feet deep. Then, with the ending of the Ice Age, the climate changed and dried. The desert that we see today has helped to preserve the crater by limiting the erosion that might otherwise have blurred or erased the traces of the ancient impact. Investigating a mystery. Although meteorite falls had been observed for hundreds of years, until the 20th century, no one had ever identified a crater created by a meteorite. Most scientists rejected the possibility of such a crater, believing that all natural landforms had been created slowly, over thousands or even millions of years, rather than in a single catastrophic moment. Grove Carl Gilbert. In 1891, however, one scientist became interested in the giant crater in the Arizona desert. Grove Carl Gilbert, the chief geologist for the U.S. Geological Survey, was the most renowned geologist of his generation. He was tolerant, generous, and fair-minded. With an intense dislike of controversy of any kind, he has been described as perhaps the closest equivalent to a saint that American science has yet produced. Gilbert's prestige was so great that none of his colleagues or successors was willing to publicly question his conclusions, even when it became apparent that some of those conclusions had been wrong. If you enjoyed from this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content. Thanks for watching.